part of rethinking your drink is not just thinking about the beverages that you'll have during your workday, but another beverage that many of us consume, which is alcohol. So being aware of wine or beer or liqueur or spirits or whatever it is that you choose to drink. And I think at this point, let me mention that we don't actually need alcohol to be fully healthy, because we know that as human beings, if you don't consume any alcohol, you won't create a nutrient deficiency. But you know from the introduction that I am French, and my family live very close to the Champagne region in France, so I have been drinking bubbly since a very young age. And for me, the idea of having a little bit of alcohol as part of a meal, so red wine or champagne, is quite important for me, and it's not something that I would ever want to give up unless I really, really had to. So how do we consume alcohol in a way that is part of a balanced lifestyle? Well, to rethink this drink, it's important to note that if you are a non-drinker, it is better to remain a non-drinker rather than to start to drink. Because there is some research that has brought up that if you consume, in particular, red wine, that it is good for your health. So there's some studies that have come out that have shown that perhaps it's the antioxidant, which is called resveratrol, that you find in the red grape skin, that is in higher amounts in red wine. And they've noticed that when people consume 1 to 2 small glasses of red wine a day, that they generally have a lower risk of heart disease. But see, that's the key. It's the 1 to 2 small glasses. If you consume more than that, then it's not like you get more and more benefit. You actually then, the harmful effect of the alcohol kicks in and overrides the benefit of that antioxidant. So if you are somebody who drinks wine, it may be better, if you're able to choose a small glass of red wine rather than another wine. But no matter what alcohol you choose, it might be beer or spirits or a white wine or a Pinot or red wine, is to understand that if you are trying to manage your performance or your waistline, that alcohol plays a huge part in that. We know that if you consume too much alcohol, you are not going to perform at best. So when you know that you are maybe particularly stressed, even though you are going to want to drink at those times, try and not overindulge, because that's a time when you need to look after and nurture yourself more so. I know for me, when I travel, I don't sleep as well. It's quite stressful. And as much as I'm tempted to, when I finally get to the end of my day, to enjoy some wine, I try and just be moderate about it, because I know that I need to be really on the cutting edge of my performance in that circumstance. I also try and make sure that there are a few days in the week where I don't drink any alcohol. Even if you just do this for 2 nights of the week or 3 nights of the week, it gives your body a break, and especially your liver. And then to stick to the recommendation. So if you are going to drink alcohol, the World Health Organization says that we should have at most, if we're a lady, 1 to 2 units of alcohol a day, and for guys a little bit more, 2 to 3 units of alcohol a day. A unit is not one of these new age goblet wine glasses where a bottle like serves 2. It would be those old sized glasses that our grandparents have, where a bottle of wine actually serves 6. So a small glass of wine, a small regular beer, or a single shot of liqueur or spirits, that would be a unit of alcohol. And the guideline then is not to have more than 1 or 2 units if you're a lady, and more than 2 or 3 units a day if you're a guy. And unfortunately, you can't decide not to drink the whole week and then bank all your credits on like a Friday night all at once, because you're going to wake up feeling really lousy on Saturday. If you do happen, though, to celebrate or to drink a bit more, try and use the principle of hydrating. So I mentioned earlier in the previous video that when you're drinking coffee or tea, a strategy that can help is to alternate every cup of coffee or tea with water. And this is a very powerful strategy that can help you when you're drinking alcohol. So when you're at a dinner party, if you're out at a bar, is to try not to just have a beer or a glass of wine in your hand, but to also have access to some water. And be aware of either alternating every sip. So when you have a sip of wine, have a sip of water, or have a glass of wine and then a glass of water. I assure you that even if you then maybe overindulge a bit, your headache the next day will be less, because you've actually stayed hydrated. And drinking the water in between can also help to pace your alcohol intake. You can take a look at the PDF that's attached to see what the calorie or kilojoule content is of some of your favorite drinks, because you may be surprised that Cosmopolitan or that glass of wine that you're having at the end of each day contains as many calories as it does. And that's part of the portion distortion that I spoke about earlier, and that we need to be careful and rethink our drink when it comes to managing our performance, our health, and our weight.